Winter is an interesting season. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people really enjoy the snow and ice and all the visuals, while others detest the cold and all the inconvenience that comes with it. I thought I'd share what this looks like in Sweden at the moment, where we've had an unusually cold winter in many parts actually, with really low temperatures. And this is affecting a lot of the daily life. And for kayakers, which is the theme of this channel, paddlers, it's definitely something that makes things a lot different. This was a month ago in Stockholm with the Nightlight Paddle here, previously shared in a video. And this was right now in January, a month later.
All right.
This was 1 year ago.
Just got up here at Stockholm City Hall, and I've completed 1,000 kilometers.
You can see
now
the contrast.
To,
almost a year between the two.
get some hot chocolate and then go and have something nice to eat.
This is one of Stockholm's most paddled areas, Riddarfjärden. Open water, really great for paddling. So 2 years ago we had the same nightlight kayak parade, whereas right now this is what this looks like. So the whole area here is frozen over, and there's definitely no paddling happening in this part of the city. In fact, in the north of the Baltic Sea, large sections of the sea itself are completely frozen over. So many kayakers who are trying to get out and paddle each month this year, a so-called Harry year in Sweden, are having trouble doing that because simply the entire sea is frozen over, and obviously all the lakes and such. This is the situation in Stockholm, where large sections of the city are really shut off to paddlers as well. In fact, these open areas that normally you see a lot of kayakers enjoying the waters on, those have actually been filled with skaters, ice skaters, in recent weeks. So this entire area, and going all the way north on Lake Mälaren, well, have been filled with ice. This is one of the few exceptions where a group of us were actually able to go out on the water kayaking recently. But there was really only one location that the group leaders could find where, by walking through the forest a bit here, we could find a suitable launch location for a group of kayakers. And that's really unusual because the sea really has frozen over in so many places. So really tricky actually this time of year. This canal here is actually one of Stockholm's most paddled locations, as was the previous one I shared. And it's a really nice experience if you're in the warmer seasons. It freezes typically in winter, but otherwise you would have the same view of the same location we just saw, like this. Right now, yeah, there's definitely no paddling going on, and many paddlers who have their kayaks at a kayak club or at a kayak shed of some sort, they're basically locked in. So otherwise you go by car to a remote location somewhere with seawater. Actually, in Stockholm though, there is actually a possibility to paddle on the east side, where there's a lot of current and moving water, keeping those waters in part open. But launch spots are tricky over there as well. So for me, with a portable kayak and inflatable kayak or folding kayak that I usually use, I could go there relatively convenient and get out on the water. But for the most part, most of my paddling locations are definitely off limits. And for sea kayakers that need a parking space for the car and such, it's not particularly that easy. We're seeing the areas around Stockholm City Hall here, and Yeah, well, you see a little bit of water that has opened up here when it gets a little bit warmer, or boats, ferries, basically break the ice up. Well, for the most part, the city is completely frozen. This varies, of course, across the country, so you'll have some areas of the country where you can get out on the water, whereas in other locations it's really, really difficult. And I imagine where you are, uh, this might look completely differently. You might have really much warmer temperatures, or you might have much colder temperatures. It would be interesting to see, so share in the comments, if you don't mind, what are the conditions where you are. But this location here, for example, is a huge lake. It's the beginning of a huge lake, a really large lake, one of the largest in Sweden, Lake Mälaren, where, you know, during the warmer season, this is a nice location with some nice shops sometimes for paddling. And this is the contrast right now. It's, you know, it's going to be a few months that this simply isn't possible. And also this was all of a sudden being used for ice skating by groups, whereas, well, in summer you would have this shed being a self-service rental kayak location.
Winter kayaking also comes with its challenges. You might think that the first challenge, the obvious challenge of winter kayaking, is the cold. I would actually say that for many kayakers it's not. It's actually a matter of access. Because for many of us, at least in the northern hemisphere, the simple step of getting to the water might actually be a strange thing.
And I was actually out recording this video relatively close to here. True words, right? This was actually just 1 week before this and other locations completely froze over. So we had some temperatures here in Stockholm going, you know, down to minus 16 degrees Celsius or such. But in other locations, you actually had temperatures approaching minus 40 even. So really cold winter temperatures, meaning that, well, if you're a kayaker, this isn't really your time of year. If you're an ice skater, it's an awesome season to be out there. It will be nicer in a few months from a kayaking perspective, but for now, in January, as it often is, it's much trickier to actually go out and find places to paddle. So for those who have really not been able to do so far, I hope you find some open water. And for the rest of you, well, stay safe out there and happy paddles, as I always say. From here on out, it only gets warmer.